Hi there, I'm your host, Yildiz from Yildiz Readings. Take a moment to set your intentions and prepare for your read. Welcome back. We have done some updates. It has taken a little bit of time to get things set up. And yes, our super chats will be closing soon. So if you do want to become part of the list, we have the list up on the screen. I've tried to change it so that we can keep an eye on what's coming up. And yes, I did mention in the blog post, for those of you that do follow the channel, if you keep an eye on the blog posts, which are in the community tab, any updates we have to lives or any additional content that's coming out, the super chats, the dates, they're all going to be listed inside of that. Now, I did mention we are going to have a super chat. Then we are going to have an update. I may touch base on some of those updates through this, but separately, I'm going to be creating a different video. So it is hopefully going to be launched today. And that is going to really cover the astrology and what I see coming up for the collective in the context of things. So who do we have in the house? And hopefully the internet works correctly, because I do tell you, it has been very iffy lately. I'll make sure we have the super chat on the screen. Add that. I'll see if I can get it to scroll. There. Okay. So who do we have in the house? We have updated the intro. I've reset up all the streaming situations so I can create new content. So anything down to astrology, educational content, which has been years in the making. And yes, we all collectively, I literally listened to a bit of an astrology update this morning. And I thought it was quite funny because when you get the context of how people are feeling at the moment, although we can find there are planets direct in May, there is a particular one that is ingressing, and there is another also that is going to be going retrograde, which I will touch base on. We theoretically, with the dynamic between Mars, Mercury, Venus, we have had some really hard transits linking all the way back to September. And you would be really forgiven if you were like, what's the point? Okay, so if you have been going through a hard time, my thoughts are with you. It is an integration time, but there is a lot. I'll just be really honest with you. There is a lot psychologically that's going to come up in the next 18 months. And I think if you can look back to the context of 2017, we had Chiron and Pisces, and it was very difficult. So some people were directly impacted by that. A lot of other people really weren't. So for those that are looking at the energy and at 3D circumstances right now and saying, hey, how do we directly integrate? How do we work with this? Sometimes you can literally feel quite isolated. And it is part of the process, because a lot of times it's almost like we can become clouded by what would I call it? External influences. Not too bad, though. So the external influences almost can help us avoid the shadow energy of what is coming up for us personally. So sometimes in assimilation, we directly can feel quite isolated through that process. It is there to aid you. It's there to actually, it doesn't feel like it at the time, I'm honestly telling you, and you could feel victimized through that circumstance. But it is going to help you integrate the shadow and get to the root cause of a lot of things that are happening in your own personal life. And through that, although you might feel like a victim through it, and you can feel alone, misunderstood, very confused, the added dynamic is where Neptune's going to be. And, it's going from Pisces over to Aries. And so with that, we can feel almost like we're having these really brutal, harsh reality checks. And, for that notion, it can be difficult almost to decipher reality to delusion. Okay, so it's almost like we're in this axis moving between two frequencies. It can be deeply psychic at the moment, and protecting, if you were very run down or if you were unwell, you will find that darker energies can attach to you. So you can become more negative. You can become more susceptible to vibrations and people around you. So if you do find, and it's not that we can avoid these things, you know, in an awakening, a lot of times we are directly isolated. It's sort of part of your astrology. It's part of your transitional upgrade. It can be a lot of 12th house frequency. But if you can't, it doesn't mean avoid the world. What tools directly can we use so that we can actually handle it, be in that self-awareness? And, you know, it's almost like squares, oppositions, high square, they can feel the most difficult, but they can be, it's almost like forming a diamond. So it's really going to create something inside of you. It's really going to help you realize this transformative experience that you're going through is going to take you somewhere. It's not for nothing. It's teaching us life skills beyond those that we have ever experienced before. And we are going to get through it. Okay. So if you are feeling as though things are never going to change, try to simplify things. You can use gemstones to protect you. I would say definitely increase your fluid. I would say I would avoid certain gemstones. And I've got to remember the one because I had a client the other day and it was very, obstinine. I would use, or you can use amethyst, but you'll find when you do come to a certain point in your journey, these gemstones probably won't work. And it's a compliment. It means you've got to a different level. But you know, especially if, for instance, say you have a gem and it breaks, or you have a protective crystal and it breaks, it means it served its purpose and you've got to this different level. So, you know, don't freak out about it. It is because you are moving to a next level and you're integrating. But you can use guided meditation. You can use smudging for your home. I honestly have been cleaning so much. Frustration has been there because we have collectively had a lot of external circumstances coming towards us. So where you may have a physical goal, you can find there's a lot of obstacles that are coming. And so it's almost like, hey, you know, you had your eye on a goal and you were trying to get to it and something comes at left field. So if you just do the best you can, do what you can. Rome wasn't built in a day. If we can actually move through these frequencies now and in the month of May and moving forward, what we're going to find is we're setting our new lives up in a very stable, structured manner. And anything that's removed, please don't panic because something is going to replace it. So you find if suddenly you have to move a home, more than likely it is aspected in your chart. And, you know, with that, what you'll find is your doors and portals will open more readily. The other is, if you, for instance, have lost a job and you're like, oh crap, what am I going to do with this? Again, more than likely it will be in your chart. And generally speaking, what it means is a new portal has opened up. Universe believed that you were better than that and you have more opportunities, even though at the time you might be going, oh my God, you know, what's going to happen? Please do trust it, or you can book a reading. We do. I'll mention it at the end of this session. It'll be on all the outros now. And all our links are directly below for bookings, for memberships, for all of those things. So we are going to get into the super chats. Like I said, the super chat list, once I get to about the third super chat, the list directly will be closed. We do have the schedule up on the main YouTube page. And what you can do is actually jump on the video and you can click the bell on it and it will give you a notification. And if you read directly below the box of all of the super chats, which I am going to be updating a lot of the info in our info boxes, what you can do is actually go to the link, prepay the super chat. I'll get your name. And then because you've clicked the bell and you've subscribed because you want to get notification for the actual live stream, you then will, be it you can be there or not. If you can't be there, you are quite welcome to pay for the super chat, come back, be it's on YouTube or via the PayPal link. And on that session that you want to join, you can then write in the chat box, even though the video is not live, what your question is, okay? Otherwise, if you're not there, You can still come back to the video after. You'll get your updates and I'll tune into what's coming through. Okay, so if there's no questions, it'll be just a general energy and it'll come down to, what I'm psychically seeing coming through. For those of you that I have done bookings for years, I know your astrology. I know your charts. I know, and then we've got the psychic energy as well. So I'll connect into those simultaneously. So the first person we have is Marie. Do we have Marie in the house? And I'll just chuck a banner up on the screen because I'm going to have a quick drink. Like I said, you're going to be very dehydrated. Happy Sunday. Are we persevering through? How many of us have had copious amounts of time, or how many of us felt very unmotivated? Yeah, it could be that you want to, there could be this obsessive energy at the moment over Venusian energies. It might be, for some of us, it could be food because it is the Taurus energy. But for others of us, it can feel almost like we do need to use this time at the moment to actually rest. So, yeah, with the moon being in Taurus, you want to beautify your home. You want to look at your bodies. And as feminines, you could be thinking, gee, I really need to start looking after myself. It can be within your diet, your nutrition, your physical image. If it's within your websites and your businesses, you might want to beautify those things. And you are going to be thinking about money, okay, because it is Venus. You're going to be thinking about money. These could also be inheritances because we have Uranus involved in that situation. So, inheritances, legacies, retirement funds, how to invest, you all could be looking at that. Yeah, so just don't go to extremes. I would definitely look at things and go, okay, what now am I valuing? Because you literally could be really wanting to get in. It could be decluttering. It could be organizing and not just looking at the surface value of things, but what is valuable. You could have a lot of clutter, but a lot of that clearing started last year. But there was a lot of delays because we had retrograde. So you might have started some things. And then, and it depends on where the axis of Taurus and Scorpio is. And this could be quite a large signature. You could actually look at where it is in your chart. And also it could relate to your nodes. And if it does, it could relate to your past or your future. So, in the context of looking at moon energy, it also could be bringing a signature up, especially with all of these direct motion planets, some moving retrograde. You're going to find it could be bringing up old subjects. You could be revisiting old situations, changing them, transforming them, but they're going to be new. It could be an old thing, but it needs to be new. Okay, so if that's a person, place, or thing, it's going to have to be new. Okay, we'll shuffle the cards. I'll just have a quick drink. You were going to go today. Painting my room and redecorating. Okay, Stella, I'll add you to the list, Fluff. Where is it? Edit. Where am I? Oops. Wasn't even capital. How have you been, Stella? I was thinking about you the other day, love. I was like, I wonder how Stella is. Now, those of you that did have a membership, I have not kicked you out. We transitioned. All the information is via the website. If you do want to get on the new list, there's also a landing page, and you can get on the group 2 list to get into the membership. But those of you that did already have the YouTube membership a couple of months back, you still can use that access code. If you don't know it, go to the website, PM me, and I'll send it to you. Back on camera. Okay, so we have Marie. How are you? How are we all doing? You were thinking about me. Yes, that Scorpio placement. Stella, hold on to your hat, girl. I tell you. That's probably another reason I was thinking about you. I'm like, heck, she's got a lot of similar things in her chart to me. I wonder if she's going through it. Anyone that has Aquarius, Leo, Aries, Libra, Pisces, Virgo, yeah. like my chart, Sonnet, has been lit up since 2017. You know, I have been proverbial. I've been turned inside out since 2017. And like, I'm humbly looking at it. And, you know, the one thing I say, especially if I'm getting triggered or frustrated, I'm like, if I'm theoretically ascending and in self awareness, I cannot react to certain circumstances, even if they're toxic. I'm not allowed because I am in my self awareness. It doesn't mean to say you don't have a human kind of experience to it and you don't want to whoop ass or any of that. But you do have to be super acutely aware. The astrology also, to a degree, has helped me navigate that, where I don't, although it feels personal because it is like lighting up my birth chart like a Christmas tree and causing a lot of difficulties. I'm looking at it as character building, even though I'd love to rip my hair and my teeth out. You know, I'm trying to look at it from that perspective. It doesn't mean it's easy. Okay, so Marie, have you been doing, Dale? I know you've got some heavy aspects in yours too. Okay, you're like, heck, when is this crap going to go to the past? The first card you got is, look, it's like, you know, in your thought processes, is there any hope? Is there anything that's going to be good? You know, and I totally relate. I can totally relate. That's why I would say this is a lot of integration. This year is the PDF to the new kind of frequencies coming in. You're moving to the past, right? You're looking at the past and you're like, I've been fighting to get out of some circumstances. And it's not to say collectively, as well as for your personal circumstance, we shouldn't say, heck, look how far I've come. Now let's just slow down a minute. Is there a conflict I need to get out of? Is there something I don't have power over? Or is there something I have power over, but it might take just a little bit longer than what I thought? Now, you could be moving away from a conflicting situation, but they're also in the heart space. It could be that things are going to frustrate you more than usual. Now, you could theoretically cut this month into two, like, you know, cutting a sandwich in half. They're going to be two separate vibrations. We're trying to sum up and make a lot of sense. And I feel, like I said, you could lose your shit. Things could be taken quite to heart. You could be listening to the vibration of your body, and that vibration could be telling you this doesn't feel good. I don't want to do this anymore. And then the rationale, it's like the mind, it kind of comes up and it says, well, you have to. So there could be this push-pull dynamic, especially in the element of love, especially in the element of career, your body, your aura, and how you're feeling. I don't know why I'm hearing, listen to your heart. You are listening to it, but you've also got the intellect. You do want some hope. You do want some hope. You could also be feeling where it does come to all Venus matters, be it it's money, love, relationships, connections. You would like some flavor in life other than the eat, pray, repeat. You do have the Two of Cups here. There could be an opportunity that is coming your way, and it is going to look quite positive. I feel like you're going to hit a stumble block, okay? And I do think it's really temporary. I do think it's almost like, you know, you're moving along, you're feeling super confident, you're walking away from shit, and then all of a sudden it's like suddenly you have this vibrational shift, and it's like something takes you really down hard, and it kind of feels unusual to you because you're like, I was on an up and up. Where does this frequency come from? Why am I feeling this way all of a sudden? Please do look at what it's making you feel, because it's like something that was hidden has opened in the sense of like it's like a Pandora's vault. It's showing you something. I don't feel you're not going to grab the steering wheel to get back in control of the situation, but I do think it's very important you look at it, because it's going to give you some very key information for you moving forward. You might also be psychically very in tune at the moment, And you could be picking up on other people's energy. I do feel, it's almost like a tree. We are very interconnected. You will always know. Have you ever had one of those moments where you're sitting there and you directly can feel as though somebody's going to call you, and 2 seconds later they do? Because away from the ego, we're very fluid and we're able to tune into it. You could think of a song and then turn the radio on and go, oh, wow, I was just thinking about that song. It's because your ego's removed, so you're interconnected to it. Now, as it comes to people, even if you haven't seen them for ages, you are spiritually interconnected and plugged into them. So when something happens with them, you actually can pick up on it. It's very intuitive. It's very psychic. It comes down the ethers. And because we do have that Pisces energy there in the North Node, it's extremely psychic. So it feels as though you were skipping along in your own merry way and you were moving forward and things were flowing quite well. And then you might have tuned into something and it kind of pulled you back a bit. I do think there's some transitions and shifts. I do think also there could be something to do with the contract going through an evolution and a change. And I feel some doors are going to open up to you. The thing is going to be, and I think we all need to collectively be very, very careful of this, is with the Aries placement, especially at the minute, we could bite off more than we can chew, and it's going to become unmanageable. We also can make premature decisions. You're wanting justice and balance. Where it comes to contracts, where it comes to connections, or just pause for 1 second. And I would say wait till Saturn comes online, okay? Once it does, you are going to be able to make those very informative decisions in the area of love. And it is this month, so it's not that long. Love, romance, career, direction, and even the PDF of how to restructure. It's going to give you that. Like I said, I just keep feeling a lot of opportunities, and it's going, whoa, slow down, because even that trigger point, that pebble I was seeing, I feel it's going to serve a purpose. It's almost like a PDF warning. It's like, whoa, 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 hold up. Don't go too fast. Don't bite off more than you can chew. Don't jump to conclusions because, again, our vibrations can be volatile at times. We could be also in that frequency of wanting to, what would I say? Feel the nice. We want to feel the nice. And we're just fed up. We're really wanting to feel it. And so we could make extremely risky decisions. There is a love opportunity coming your way. Yes, it could feel like 2 directions. And this could be the other thing. Okay, this could be the other thing. In one way, you can see something physically in front of you that is a distinct possibility. In the other, it feels like something is pulling you back and something of the past is connected. It's not you're not open to other options. You are, but there are 2 distinct paths. And it's kind of almost like, what do you choose? I feel it's coming towards you, so you won't need to worry too much. It's about being present, being open to situations in the context of that. Okay, so try not to get up in your head too much about it. If you are going up there, it's because there's some clearing and healing and understanding, but they're also saying those paths are there for you, but also know that there's a lot more coming down the road, which does feel very different to what you currently have at the minute. So the status quo, I'm hearing. I do feel as though you are thinking about the future. There also could be something on the side that's happening to do with your family. Has there been some trigger situation that's been happening with your family? An argument over a situation, it feels quite conflicting. It could be to do with mother or father. I don't know why I'm picking maybe mother. It could even be siblings, but it does feel family related. I've had such a stiff neck lately. It's been horrible. So what does that mean, Marie? Do you know? I'll just have another drink. Father estate. Yeah, because it was like inheritances. Yeah, I was like, what's that? I do think it's going to resolve. Okay. I do think it's going to resolve. It's, and yeah, so it does feel it's going to. That's what they're saying. I'd say the moon lunations are actually going to help that situation wrap up, especially because I believe, and I've got to quickly have a look. Close that. Which I am going to do an update, but I just need to add some banners as to the transits and the exact dates. I have already added them to the main page on YouTube. But as in the context of the conversation and talking about the transits and when and where we can predict these things, I want to get some slides ready for it. So I've got to do that this afternoon. Okay, so the moon currently is in Leo. Current planets. Again, I could be a day ahead, especially for those of you in America. We are at 10:39 a.m. Green's mention time. I hate it when you press a link and it doesn't open. Blast it. Okay, so what do we have? Okay, let's get the monthly. What do we have last month? Okay, so currently we still do have the Sun and Taurus. So again, we do need to be careful. We could overindulge. On the 27th of April, we did have the new moon in Taurus, which again, Uranus and Taurus is linked to it. So it can be to do with legacies, inheritances. Again, it will directly depend on where people have it in their birth chart. This also can be to do with the monetary system, digital currencies, trade. We see, arguments we were having there. Plus Mars moved, from Cancer into Leo. So it has been affecting the collective. Now, as we've moved into May, we're going to have the axis of the Scorpio moon, which is a full moon. It's a wrap up. And again, it's Pluto in nature. It can be to do with assets, debt, inheritances, legacies, hidden predators. Very cautious, be extremely cautious for people walking the streets at night. Pay attention to your surroundings for the first half of the month, I would say. As we get to the new moon in Gemini, that's a whole different ball game because we do have Jupiter there. So for you, Dad was Turkish. Okay. Difficulty and heartbreaking death. Oh, bless Style. So sorry. Yeah, it's very, and especially with the Scorpio moon, it is healing, but it's almost like we've got to go in. Yeah, flashbacks, memories, what we did have, what we didn't have, what we do and don't remember. The moon is bringing it up, right? And to do with family. And it's funny because Mars and Leo can be like a masculine energy. But again, we are doing a lot of clearing, okay? But it's going to feel deep. I want to prepare you, but do go deep because the reference here is also that your guides are helping you. And look, I've had so many synchronicities lately with guides and loved ones on the other side. It's been bombardment. So, sometimes you can be looking for signs, but the thing is they are there. We just have to look. And when they're ready, don't feel there's a time frame on it. When they're ready, they will come through. But they're saying they're kind of pausing you because what this is that you're moving forward into, it's going to be better than you think. You're just not seeing that right now. Okay. You are protected. You are aware. Look, you could also be feeling, is everything going to go according to plan? Are there going to be outside influences to affect it? I'd say tune out of that because you can actually manifest it, and that's something you don't want to do. Especially if there is conflict going on. It's more to do with the healing than anything else. Do you get what I'm saying? But it doesn't mean to say that it's going to remain pear-shaped. It just feels as though if there is any conflict within tribe and family, work and love, it is going to kind of ease up. We just need to get, into the integration of this month. And, many times it's all based on healing. It's really not personal, even though at the time we're all going through our personal things, so we are going to personalize it. But big hugs for you, doll. Who do we have next? Any bookings you guys need, you can find them online at the website, and it is all directly below. So we have Antonella. Are you in the house still? I'll wait for Antonella to come on screen. I hope that did help. I'll have a quick drink. How you doing, sweet? Long time no see. You are most welcome, love. It has been a long time. I did see our soul friend the other day. I messaged her. I was teasing her on bloody holiday again. Bloody Taurus. I'm okay. I fell over this morning. Yeah, we do need to be careful, Mars and Leo, and we've got a lot of Mars placements at the moment. So I would say be extremely security conscious, but also bear in mind that I think Chiron's going to go retrograde as well. Where's that Chiron? It's like good timing, Chiron. No, it's still direct. Pluto goes retrograde. Bloody, well, as of today, 4th. That'd be right, at 3 degrees. So, yes, station retrograde. So, anyone that has Scorpio placements, Mars placements, or the direct placement of Aquarius and Leo, it is a good time to revisit circumstances. I would be updating our cybersecurity. I would be re-looking at where it is in your house and, how to actually transform it. So, yeah, it's interesting. It doesn't have to be bad. It's going to be and funny thing is, Pluto, the underrealm, retrogrades for 5 months. 5 is distinctly change. I don't like the 5s. I like them on the aftermath. I don't like them during. Okay, so what do you want to know? Do you have a question, or are you thinking it and I will channel it? Totally up to you. I do feel there's been some confusion on direction. Now, that could be in one area of your life. It's like, where am I going? Don't feel paranoid if you all of a sudden get negative, okay, or feel overwhelmed with circumstances. I think when we get overwhelmed, the biggest key right now is to, especially if we've got too much in our head and we can't concentrate, write a list down. Just write a list down and start ticking things off, because you're just going to keep getting up in your head and get quite confused. I feel as though you could be a little bit critical on yourself. It feels as though a direction you're wanting to go, you're being too critical on yourself, okay? This feeling could be, am I ever going to get anywhere? Oh my gosh, I thought I was going to be somewhere else at this point in my life. Like, it's very critical. It's the sun also in the context at the moment. It's very Taurus. So, our eating habits can come into play. We can emotionally eat. We can emotionally do things that we probably shouldn't, drinking, pacifiers. It doesn't have to be something negative, but we also can feel that we judge ourselves based on our financial situations right now. It's like, I am X, Y, and Z because of my financial situation, or I am X, Y, and Z because of the way I physically look. We're doing a lot of integration. You do want a sense of direction. You also could feel all of a sudden that you change your mind about the direction that you're wanting to go. We have the sun there and it's in the reverse. It's like you're not quite sure, am I on the right path? Am I doing the right thing? Am I going to make it? Is it going to be okay? You could be wanting to go back to different things. You also might initially in this integration want to go back to something that feels extremely stagnant but comfortable. It's like a warm, fluffy blanket and it makes you feel very safe, yet you feel you do know that you will actually maybe outgrow it. I had an interview on Friday for a job, It could be a type of, what would I say? In a sense and context of career, this point would be a better time for all of us if we were choosing to do that. In a sense of signing contracts, etc., because of direct planets. But there are other retrogrades coming. So it could be that you wanted to go back to something before, okay? Again, be careful not to bite off more than you can chew. Remember back to when you were multitasking. Some of us can, some of us have to tweak certain things because each of our lives is so intricately weaved. What your sense of balance is versus what another person's sense of balance is going to be two different things. Do you know what I mean? So know who you are, know what you can and can't accomplish. If it is balancing, say, study and career, how are you going to juggle those situations and looking at what's going to work best for you and how you can actually integrate that. Because I feel as though you could get a bit overwhelmed. You also could be all of a sudden saying, oh my gosh, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? Like, which one do I do? Can I do one or the other? For many of us, it could be a choice between one or the other. For many of us, it could be gradually doing this till about mid-year, integrating to transition over so that the landing's more transitional. So it could be taking a part-time job. It might be doing something very slow. And I just step back. It could just be a panic attack. It could be, oh my God, what am I doing? Am I being silly here? Because you do know the job. Okay, it's not you don't know the job, but you also know what you can and can't do. Now, if you're recreating the same pattern and going back to something you can't do, you need to ask yourself why. It's asking you to be rational and realistic. And it's not about, it doesn't matter what other people think. It's what is going to work for you. What's going to work for you? Not proving to anyone else what's going to work for you. Got the High Priestess here. Why do I feel this is somebody else? You're wanting to talk to somebody. This could have been advice from a person. This could have been maybe a feeling or a notion of what you want to be. It could be a very good offer financially. It also could be some fixation that you do have on monetary. And you're like, oh, whatever this is coming up quickly. You also could just feel in general there's an urgency to get things moving. Okay. I don't know why they're referencing the time at home has given you too much time to think. You could be getting a bit of cabin fever. And again, psychic attacks also could have been coming in relating to maybe a love interest, a person that you're interested in, but it's almost like there's been a lot of concentration and thought on one particular individual. And it's just, it's causing an imbalance emotionally. It's like you need to occupy the mind. Where are the studies at? This energy is definitely coming in. Definitely coming in. I'll wait for you to say something. Nothing bad here, but again, I do feel there is going to be a change of mind, okay? Because even your outcome card is a change of plans. So if something's caused you to stop and pause, I would say actually listen to it. Listen to your intuition. Yes, so far, so good. Yeah. So I would say sit back, don't panic, trust your intuition and your instincts, because you could be becoming overwhelmed a bit. As to information coming in, there could be something that does come in to do with the key person. Do I think it's gossip? We all need to be super careful of gossip at the moment. There's going to be a lot of things uncovered. Scorpio actually covers things, but it also can get to the root cause of it. So being that Pluto will go retrograde and we're having a full moon in Scorpio, I literally knew we would have subjects to do with P. Diddy in the media. But those subjects also very separately right through the media. We could find things that were hidden. We could have cold cases being solved, predators in the media, you name it. There can be things like that. There can be also very positive things. It's not just negative things. It could be changes in the tax system. It might be changes in the depth of intimate connections and how we connect with each other. So it's not negative. You always get the yin to the yang, but it's important to be aware of that. Being careful to look at your use-by dates on foods, because food poisoning also can be linked to that. So in the next 2 weeks, making sure that your surfaces are clean, that you are looking after your body and your aura, so you are, revitalizing yourself, not running yourself down and becoming susceptible, because when we get run down, we get sick. So there is a new chapter here, but don't be surprised if you do have just all of a sudden you're turning a corner and something turns out to be something totally different. I think for a lot of us, it is something positive. For you, I do also be open to surprises, okay? Who do we have next? Okay. I will be closing the super chats in a minute. So if you do want to get on the list, jump on. Otherwise, you will miss out. It's the last call. Leo next. You're up next, my love. And I better write down. Do we have Leo next in the house? Hi, love. So much going on. Been communicating with masculine only about our son. Do you want to communicate with him about things? Go for it. What's that saying? Don't saying about getting things done. There's a quote. Don't put off till tomorrow what you can do today. Don't. He set his pace. Falling asleep, not sure will last, but whatever comes. Okay, sweetheart. Thanks, love. Yeah, there was a bit of a delay this morning as to the setting up of things, especially the frequencies being super heavy. Okay, so Leonix, what do we have? You've got some opportunities coming up. You could feel as though you're going in circles. You're also a bit worried about picking the wrong thing, doing the wrong thing. Your mind could be going in spirals that, I would say conspiracy theories. It's almost like, is this person entertaining another person? Are they full of it? Are we going through this circle again? How is this going? But there are opportunities here. So it's like you could have moments of where it feels super negative, and then you could have other moments where the ego bounces and it's like, well, you snooze, you lose. That's kind of how it's coming through. But you do have the 7 of Cups, okay? And it's about actually picking the correct thing. Making sure that you are looking at all your options, looking at all your areas of life. You felt that you went through this cycle already, okay? You feel that some patterns are repeating. And, you did think things had come to a balanced place. So this for you versus how the reactions were. How do I rephrase that? What you're seeing now versus what you saw before is totally not matching. Does that make sense? So it did look like there was some stability with the connection. We had the Justice card in the past position, and it felt like things were balancing out. At the moment, it's like something soft. Does that make sense? Now, it could be for a given reason. It might be for a given reason that you can't see right now. Yeah. It's funny, you've got love proposal, right? This can be almost like you instinctually feel you're open to what's coming. It doesn't feel, how do I explain it? In a way, you would be open to this person offering you something, but you're kind of feeling that due to the way this person has reacted and going in circles and it coming back to the status quo, you kind of like, do I spiritually need to be open to a new opportunity coming towards me? Inside you is not quite ready yet. You know you can do that. You know, especially in astrology, it shows you will inevitably, due to Pluto's placement, attract a healthy, loving, deep connection, right? It is a 20-year transit. But through that, and usually you can see when that pivotal point is going to come by the degree point, you are going to get that. I wouldn't panic too much about whom that is going to be with. Because then we go into almost this feeling of being stuck. And oh my God, what was that a waste of time? What was that for? I wouldn't do that right now. I'd say you do feel as though you want a new chapter, but at the same time, emotionally, you're needing a little bit of time to integrate, right? I do think there's going to be a change with this. I think there is a slight pause. I think and you're also not wanting to push anymore. You want to see if this person's for real, for real. If this person's for real, they can earn it. And that's just where you're at. You're like, right, if you're for real and that's what you want, God bless. But this is what I want out of my life. I'm trying to simplify it. I'm trying to ascend. And you want this. It doesn't mean to say we might not go into this anger and volatility. And this accidentally can be a very vengeful month. Okay, especially because we do currently have Mars in Leo. We can feel attacked or we can be the attackee to protect ourselves through our ego because of victim consciousness. So we have to be careful not to project out because we can be quite snappy and bitey and be drawn into kind of this karmic vibration. Yeah. So it could be causing you some frustrations. And you just don't know how to look at it. You're like, I really don't know how to look at it. And that's why I would say part of you, this is taking you back down a rabbit hole. I don't think as bad as it used to be, but it depends on if you allow the anger to navigate the thought process. Because it's almost like spiritually, you might be feeling this person is entertaining another person. And then we start telling ourselves stories to make sense of it all. And I would be like, I'm just going to pause for a minute. I'm just going to pause for a minute in the context. I'm not going to do that to my brain because unless I have physical evidence, it's just submission. It's surmising and it's creating stories that can really psychologically harm us. Does that make sense? I would just be at the moment. You do have some beautiful opportunities coming your way. And your question is, am I going to be single forever? No. You are not. You are not. I don't see anything negative here apart from the fact that there is confusion. Do I think it's the status of what it is? No. But like I said, this is your test to allow the divine masculine to be the divine masculine and not to go into recreating that same pattern of, okay, well, this person will never call, this person will never do X, Y, and Z. So you go and try to initiate it in some shape or form. I would just step back and allow that person to work out what the bloody hell they want. I think when you don't react to it the same way you did, I think you will see a physical shift. And if you don't, it doesn't matter, because that is the shift. You've allowed the situation to be shown to you. I just get this distinct feeling, however you operated before, don't do that. Just step back and really pause and allow that energy to come in towards you. Because I'm feeling as though you're breaking a cycle, and breaking that cycle, you're actually going to get what you want. I hope that helps. Next person, Cosmic Journey. Cosmic Journey. You're not going to be single forever. You're too attractive. Plus, it's just not in your nature, love. It's not in your nature. No, well, think about it. Just anything that was broken is of the past. Anything they break now, that's for them to fix, not for you. If you broke it, yeah, you got to fix it. It's like I broke the chair. Can't sit down. Well, you better fix it. It's, don't look at you as the solution. And if they're not the solution, they're not the solution. You know what I mean? And it's then breaking a pattern so we don't keep attracting the same energy, or the same energy in another person be that. Because it's one thing to say, okay, well, it's a person, but it is also a vibration of how we actually show up. So 9 times out of 10, those behavioural patterns will come through in our career, in our family, in our love life, and it will trickle into every facet. So if we can break that pattern, we won't have that with career. We won't have that with our friendship groups, because we're not looking at, because what do we do when it happens? We feel like a victim. We feel victimized because people are using us, abusing us, treating us poorly. And it's against the grain of who we truly are to be the fix-it. Do you get what I'm saying? So, wear the hat that is appropriate. I hope that lands, if that makes sense. And 9 times out of 10, the things we do for other people are what we want to happen to us. So just be open to that. If you want somebody to be more hands-on, then allow people to be hands-on. Don't do it for them. So, Cosmic Journey, what do I see for you? I feel your integration is going to come this month, especially if you've been pausing for quite a bit and it's been pretty heavy. I don't want you to burn yourself out. You could feel almost like a lot of creative ideas coming, a lot of movements coming. That Virgo moon might have ushered you to feel very deep energies, in your value system, in your body, in your stress levels, in your love life. That was pretty heavy. You also might have been feeling as though, certain things were never going to come into balance. I feel you're moving away from that frequency. Sometimes through these upgrades, through these eclipses, we can feel super negative. We can feel very negative. We can, especially within all the context of the retrogrades. I would not be surprised if that's where you were. You could feel as though you instinctually feel something in the heart and you are more intuitive than normal. But you're also sensing, because you have had time to do a lot of deep diving and reflection, that you can pick up on things that are not spoken. This is very intuitive energy. I feel on this occasion, it's not that you are emotionally responding to a situation. It's almost like suddenly the rose-colored glasses have come off and you're able to see things. It's not that it's causing pain, it's causing surprise in you. And I feel this is what it's going to do. It's going to cause surprise in you. It's like having this sudden clarity moment of a person's behavioral patterns and what they're actually saying to you. But it's quite subconscious. It's quite, it's almost like a metaphor. And in you gauging that and having an acknowledgement of it, I feel you're going to be able to navigate the matrix of the complexity of this situation, because I even feel the person who is exhibiting some behavior and you're looking in at it, it's like they don't even know they're doing it. They don't even know what they're saying and what they're feeling. And I feel once you can understand what they're feeling and how they're observing and dealing with it, I feel you're going to find a solution to it. And it could just be in a standard conversation piece, something that you actually say to this person. It's almost going to link the dots for them, and they're going to have this light bulb moment. And I do feel there's a change here. There could be some travel coming up for you. There might be a particular direction. You know, if you've been wanting to get some kind of movement going in business areas, pleasure, also in travel, even in education, whatever those areas are, you're wanting to get a move on with, this also could be marriage. I feel something is shifting for that to be so. And I feel that already started for you in your life again. I think we were speaking about Jupiter placements in the members. It does feel movement. It does. This feels like it's the bigger picture. This feels like it's forward momentum. And I feel have the courage with this. Do have courage. Try to not get disheartened. This whole process of integration you're going through at the moment, it's not that it's going to bear no fruits. It is. You have been through so much. The element of ambition and career has been keeping you sane, but you want to water other plants. That's what I'm hearing. So it's almost like, you know, sometimes you could look at it and think, hey, this is just, you know, this is preoccupying me, even though I know that there's some emotions, some feelings going on in other areas of your life. It has been preoccupying you. What was the trouble coming up? You mentioned. What, in the membership or hair? I feel it's some context observing in with your TF. How do I explain it? It's almost like you're going to have this light bulb moment. And how, you know, sometimes when we observe people like a painting, we can see their perspective and perception, right? Once we see that, sometimes that person who's exhibiting that energy has no idea because it's a pattern. Do you get what I'm saying? I feel there's going to be something linking to that, where when this person is having a one-on-one conversation with you, or you're thinking back to the past, you're going to get some links coming in, and I feel it soon. These links are going to help you decipher what the best course of action is. And even in a sense of, if it comes up in a conversation, I don't feel this person is acutely aware of this. And it's like something that you say, it could just, and it doesn't even have to be that you're intentionally mustering up a thought process. It's just going to be quite fluid. Something that is said to this person is going to help the links connect. But it is an observation you've had. And it's kind of like breaking a karmic cycle and bringing a person into self-awareness, okay? And that's going to help them go away and reassess the map moving forward. Because it's almost like this person feels trapped but doesn't know why. They do, but it's more 3D shit. It's like there is a solution here. That my guides are saying to me, there is a solution here. But it's a perception the person's holding. And for a lot of us, like a painting, we're going to be stepping back, and when we do, it's almost like right under our nose what the solution is. That is going to be the missing link. I feel also that, you know, if you have felt that you had ambition and then it died, it's going to come back. And they're saying it is there for a reason. It's not there to just preoccupy you. It is there for a reason. And you will be extremely focused on, the things you value. It's almost like a Mars overdose. You are going to be very driven, linking to your future, your career, integrating things, wanting to have pleasure in your life. And that at times can actually trigger this person. I don't think that's a bad thing. And don't freak out if you feel you're 20 steps ahead from this individual, because I feel they're catching up. That's what I'm saying. Okay. I hope that helps. You might have also been getting some tension headaches. Have you been getting headaches? It's like the neck's really tight. Oh, bugger. Cancel. I deleted them all. Yeah, it's like, I think it's almost like the tension of thinking. You could do some tapping. I would probably do a guided meditation. Maybe even washing your hair. Sometimes, because it feels like it's coming from the head through to the neck. It feels spiritual energy. It could be your pillow, but again, it's tension. It almost feels like pressure. You could be quite like stressed, maybe hunching over a computer or laptop doing something. But again, I feel it's pressure. I feel they're the pressure points. Stuck energy. Yeah, very tight. Okay, here do we have Dawn. I'd probably wash your hair, because it feels the psychic portal's kind of got and it's not you haven't washed your hair. Don't get me wrong. If you feel this is intensifying, what did they say to the other day? I actually heard that if you have some salt in some water, it can actually get rid of it, because it can be deficiencies. Do your research. The other thing would be is, from a spiritual point of view, you could use amethyst and clear quartz, and you could do the tapping. But I'd wash the hair, put some guided meditation on. Why? Is because sometimes when we've been thinking, channeling, or somebody has been thinking on us and we're already run down, we can get these frequencies coming in where it's other people's energy. So the way to kind of get rid of it would be, smudging your head, closing it out, coming back to this present moment, going and having a shower, drinking fluid, and you can use maybe a pinch of a teaspoon of salt to clear the energy. Keep hydrated, keep your meditation on for about half an hour, and just be. Not thinking of any task, because what it's going to do is close it back off again, so that when you do go back to a task, that energy is going to be more relaxed. Okay? Having a break. Hi, Dawn. How you doing, love? What have we got for you? It's funny. Your crowning energy doesn't feel right. Are people around you being a bit, whingy? Yeah, because, where is it? I am here. I'm just going to have a quick drink. I need to get one more banner. Just having a drink banner. I'm doing good, being super busy. Well, you're crowning energy. It's like you could have been working through some things, right? But it also could be that other people around you look like they're in the thick of it, and you're like, what's happening with them? You've got the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands could be that you've had a lot on your plate. You're trying to dig through things. It's funny though, the vibration of the card versus what I'm tuning into psychically with you is chalk and cheese. So it's like, I think this could be to do with somebody else. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting. Look, it could have been your past tense vibe, but it's not your current vibe. Your current vibe feels quite optimistic. I'll just be honest. A couple of friends are going through it. Twin has been all week. Okay. Yeah, because it feels very out of sync. You know what I mean? And that's not what I'm getting when I tune into you. It feels like they're two different frequencies, if that makes sense. So this could be something you're pondering, is that there are some, you have a bit of concern. Maybe it's due to the fact you're interconnected to these people and you're kind of looking at the dynamic that they're going through. You even could be supporting them in some shape or form. That is, again, like quite difficult. And it's like you're helping them through this. Maybe even if it's just by telephone or it's through advice, it could be through coaching or something to that degree. You could be guiding them in a particular direction. You feel kind of entwined in that, but quite detached, if that makes sense. So it's like it's not your vibe, it's somebody else's, but it's something that you're directly guiding them through. Okay, I'll shove me back on screen. I'm so thirsty. So you got the Five of Wands, right? But it's definitely, it's like, it's people around you. As to you, I feel you have done a lot of integration, a lot of work. You maybe have been, it's like, used to be a fun house, now it's full of evil clouds. It's like you've been juggling a lot of things in the air. And you're like, it's just lucky you're a gem, all right? Jupiter's there. It's been helping you juggling all these things in the air. Jupiter technically is in its detriment in the house of Gemini. I have it natally in my birth chart. So yeah, I like juggling. I'm a masochist. It just probably because it's in my birth chart. It's like, oh yeah, that'll be fine. Yeah, that'll be fine. What a mess. Yeah, that'll be fine. Yeah, we'll get that done. So you've been doing that. I think that, yeah, you might have had a lot of free time and then all of a sudden it was zero. You're like, what's free time? When were the simpler times? I wanted all these things. It's like you could be saying to yourself, I've got to be careful what I ask for, because I kind of get this feeling that it went from one polarity to another. It went from super stagnant to super, like, it very changed, very changed. Don't be surprised if this week there is some heavy energy in the heart chakra. Pay attention to it. But again, it could be that there are things going on around you. There could be energies of departed loved ones around you. But you also could be looking at cleanups. This could be cleanups, getting healthy, detoxes. Your guides could be coming in and absolutely screaming at you. And feelings to do with what needs to end. This could be an overwhelm because we've got the death card, but it's in reverse. But the thing that they're showing me is trying to repair things, trying to change things. Yes, it could be somebody in the 3D, external in the here and now could transition, but separately it could just be that this is more reviving things. Does that make sense? Finding things that were lost, but getting on top of bookkeeping, getting on top of documentation. It's like a lot of organising. Maybe even repairs. I do feel some wealth coming towards you. Also feel some value. People are having huge revelations about how much they value you. This is both in your friendship groups and with love. They are having this change of heart, change of feeling. They're also feeling that sometimes that they see the nature where you have times where it's super chillaxed, and then there's other times it's like, good grief, you are doing way too much. And so they do see something inside themselves that is very similar to you. It's like they have those moments, but at times they do look at you and they feel that they're quite impressed by how much you can handle and how much you can juggle. Okay, there is some jealousy here. And again, I'm going to pull 2 cards because I get the context, it's in 2 areas. This is within your career field. There could be somebody connected to a group that is a little bit jealous of you. This could be an external person. It doesn't even have to be somebody part of the group. But I do get this feeling that there's something around career, somebody is jealous. Now, if this is a group of friends that are going into business or maybe doing some temporary contract together, it could be one of them or somebody who's external, but they're just referencing there's somebody of the nature that is a little bit jealous here. Somebody you have unfinished business with. It could be somebody that you were maybe working with in the past or a friend within the past, but there's just the jealous energy. Somebody that you have unfinished business with, maybe that you're not mixing with as much these days, I'm not sure. Now, in the context of love, they're saying that there is a person that has a connection to you. They may be in it could be an ex or it could be a connection they have. They're very jealous of you, right? So it's not this person. The person is, it's almost like they're picking up something changing with them. And so it's making them feel a little bit anxious because the changed attitude within the connection is causing jealousy. And so, yes, the jealousy inevitably could actually be accidentally projected towards you. I feel you're quite protected. I don't feel that you are around this person. I feel that for that other individual is causing conflict because they feel they can't seek revenge on you, even though they'd like to, and even though you've done nothing wrong. So it's not the direct individual who has a romantic feeling towards you, but it is somebody connected to them that is quite jealous. Have you not had enough time at home? Why are they referencing this? Have you started any renovations? Because there could have been a delay on that. Some of those delays could be coming up now where it's like, okay, you might need to wait for a certain date for a certain time frame. There also could be some finances coming in before you do anything major. If you paused on that, they're saying the go is this month. Okay, so something in that will shift. So if there was a pause, a few delays, so it's like any of these areas where it was like not ready to do anything within the home, within the physical environment. You know, there were some old things that were coming up that are dead, rotten, broken that you need fixing, right? Where it came to the paperwork, they're saying there was a delay with this. You could have paused. It might have been you had to get your ducks in a row at a financial level to give the paperwork to do the X, Y, and Z. Again, this is not financial advice. They're showing that it's moving now. So if there was a delay on that the portal is opening. I feel that the itemized things of what you're going to do almost become more practical. Does that make sense? So it's like, oh, you have this lavish plan, and then you're like, you might find that you do get that same amount of money, but you end up using it differently. Does that make sense? I don't think you're shortchanging it, though. I don't think you're going to shortchange it. I think you're just going to be more practical. Practical and resourceful in the home environment. Whose birthday's coming up? I don't think they're referencing a birthday party. You're quite protected. Things aren't too peachy in paradise over that side door. Karmic. A birthday party is not going to go according to plan. This person has an expectation. The other person's not really interested. Might even be away. Don't know what that means. They just had the birthday party. It's in reverse. Things delayed. Very energy between those two individuals, very quiet. Very quiet. Trust your instincts, Dawn. Go into your psychic energy. Research clue. I hope you are having a sweet dream. Let's see what's coming up for you. Bless. In a few weeks. You know what they say, distance makes the heart grow fonder. We always worry when we don't see people. Yet 9 times out of 10, if the connection's there, the longer they don't see you, the more they'll miss you. So find it amusing when they don't see you. It's like taking the candy away. Sorry, you can't have your lollipop till you get back, even if it is a visual lollipop. Research clue. Oh, God, okay, a lot of things happening around your home, your family, maybe a parent energy, maybe you as a parent. A lot of changes, right? Emotions can be high, psychic energy can be high. You're welcome, sweet. Okay, so the moon here. God, something's going to be clear as day for you. You also, I believe you have Scorpio in your chart, yeah? Research clue. The moon here, it's weird because as I'm looking at it, I literally feel a very calm energy, almost like you're in the eye of a storm. There could be a storm going on around you, but where your energy is going to come to, it feels very grounded. It feels very safe. It's almost like everything makes so much sense. It's very centered. It's like something is going to quieten down where you are so clear on what you need to do. It can be opening a path as well. It's so peaceful. It feels so safe. Whatever this is, it's creating a world for you where you are the center of attention and you are going to be very safe. There is a shift, though. I'm not going to say there's not a shift. There is a shift. There is some radical change in your life, in your world, in your circle around you. If you can take 5, whatever this is going to be, what it be, you've been purging, you've been looking at things, you've been knowing you need to change, something shifts. And I think the beautiful thing is the universe is always going to show you what that is. Sometimes, say you are doing something that you don't want to do anymore. And you're like, but I have to. And for many of us, there are the have tos, right? Could be for bills, it might be for family, structure, whatever that is. When you have what you would rather do in your mind and you take just one small physical step towards it, this situation that's causing conflict all of a sudden doesn't matter anymore because you realize you have started an action plan to transition over to an area you want. You've taken a step, it's within your control, and you're gradually going to do that. So, as this is maybe toxic and uncomfortable and feeling like you're trying to get out of something, and usually it's like a hot pot, which is called, and you just jump out, right? If you feel in your heart you can't do that, but you feel in your heart you probably should, sometimes you have to, right? And you're going to have to trust your instincts with this. Other times it could be that you're getting the intellect involved and you're like, yes, I know this is how I feel. I know I can't go on like this forever. So I need to take steps emotionally, physically to actually make that change within your control. Don't look at the other person's control. Look at yours. Okay? Look at yours. Because at the moment that can be causing more confusion. It can be, well, that, because then we're not basing our decisions based on us. I do remember at a time I had to make a decision and take a leap of faith. And a lot of it was, well, I don't know how the other person feels. And so because of that, it's almost like we almost require a green flag before we make a decision. And it's like, but isn't the decision in the initial stage, aren't you happy? So how does that have anything to do with the other person? And so we then, when we have that revelation, go, well, heck, I need to change regardless of that person. So, why am I scared? Because this is something going on within me. So now that I need to make those 3D changes in my circle and my world, I make more room for those things that I would rather have. And so gradually, I feel you're doing that. I feel there's a confusion about direction at the moment. Tribe, children, family, there could be some small hiccups. I do think that's going to move. I also feel there's a romantic interest here for you that is quite keen, and it can be coming out of the woodworks. This just be open to that. There could be some surprising shifts and changes with a particular individual that does come out of left field. It's almost like as one door opens, they all open at the same time, and it's could just take you by surprise. At the moment in your aura, you have more questions than answers. I'll say that. Doesn't mean it's going to stay that way. I'm not feeling so. I do feel those questions are going to have answers. I feel at the moment there could be a little bit of eat, pray, repeat, maybe even feeling as though you're stuck and nothing's going to change. I don't feel it's staying that way. I do feel an exuberant amount of money is coming to you in some shape or form. This also can be through an opportunity. But especially where it comes to your routine and everything, something's going to become very clear. Something is going to become incredibly clear. I do feel somebody does have something to say to you, and it's almost like it feels taboo. It's almost like they feel they're not allowed to. You could feel like you're having a deja vu moment when this happens. You're going to deal with it differently. You have some surprises coming up. Some surprises. Stella, last one on the list. Do you feel special, Stella? Or have you gone to bed too? We will be back later for our energy update and our predictions, because we are going to have predictions of things that can come through for this month. It will either be live or it will be scheduled. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, do so, and we will get that info out to you today. Or wherever you are, it'll be night. And if this is days later you're watching this, not really. What time is it there, Stella? Okay, you could be getting some... Now, has some gossip come through to you? Because this is the card of gossip. Feels like some information's coming through to you. If it hasn't yet, it's going to. It might be that you're intuitively picking up on something. Something's coming down the grapevine. You could also be noticing people kind of talking shade about other people. This could be on social media. It could be in your circle. It might be... You're just bitchiness. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's gossipy. Talking, yeah, it just feels lower frequency, whatever this is. Yeah, so it's almost like you could be looking at people going, wow, where did that behavior pattern come from? It is from the transits. So there is this, you all of a sudden might decide who, it's almost like you could have this revelation of who you do and don't trust. Yeah, who you do and don't trust where it comes to work, colleagues, friends, family. You could have this paranoia. It's like, it also could be very intuitive. It could be very psychic. It's almost like, okay, I shouldn't say that right now. I'd listen to your intuition, but there is going to be some information about a particular person in the area of love. It can be a lot of relationships are disconnecting, transforming and changing, and there can be some gossip coming out about a particular connection. This also could be one of the past and some conflict that is going on. You do feel tired. You do want to change. You're probably now feeling, you're feeling you have to do it, but you feel you need to find something else when you'd rather just retire. Does that make sense? So you could be on the fence about this, but you feel spiritually you'll know when you're ready to do that transition. You do feel very tired, though. You feel as though you would like to, but something in your intuition has been telling you to wait, even though that's not what your body's telling you. Your aspirations and goals almost feel deeply confusing to you. It's like 1 minute you can feel very driven, almost like you got all these aspirations, back like when we were 20, wanted to conquer the world. And then all of a sudden it's like it's gone. It is part of the frequency coming up, but it's also going to help you be realistic this month. And this signature is quite important for you. Use it will help you. It's going to help you. It might not feel it initially. You can feel a lot of confusion. You can feel like, do I go left? Do I go right? Do I jump in the deep end? I feel this month is your PDF of what to do, why you feel the way you feel. You might be very surprised about some of the feelings that come up inside of you and how you're actually navigating this month. Like I said, 1 minute you could deeply feel you want to get rid of a job. The next minute you could feel, no, I have to. And it's weird. It's almost like a psychic channeled message to you. It's like your intuition kicking online. Look at the reasons why you feel you have to. It could be to do with the direct timing of making a decision, having a conversation, doing something, or having a transition. I feel you'll know when. You'll know what is right, okay? You are going to have some lady luck around you. So funny. So many people have been talking about lottery. You need to look to the speculation area of life, which can be Neptune. I'll have to do some videos to do with it, with luck. It could be that you feel you're going to have a lucky break, okay? You are going to have an outcome. Your hard work is going to pay off to be something. You could also be feeling your physical environment with certain situations in your life, people are not appreciating you for who you are and what you are, even though you do know deep down inside who you are and what you are. Does that make sense? If there was a restructure or a change or a delay for you to make this decision, it could have been to do with some systems breaking down and maybe having to carry far more than what you were carrying before. That is about to evolve too. And if it doesn't, you do know theoretically that will affect you and others around you for the long term. Does that make sense? Because it's something that is unmanageable. Okay, it could have been a staff member leave and suddenly you had to do more. It could have been a system restructure, and so therefore it's like whatever this is, and these are just examples. It feels a solution, like whatever that delay was for that to happen, for that shift to happen, you haven't actually seen if that shift will help. Something is going to be taken off your plate, but it's probably surprising you because you're probably thinking, gee, I'm actually doing more than I was doing before, and I was tired back then, and now I'm tired, but I'm like equally tired. So yeah. You would really like some, what did I say? There was a movie years ago, and it was, there was a talking hamburger. I think it was The Invisible Man. I have to Google it. I think it's The Invisible Man. And I said something to my mother. She didn't understand the quote I said. I think in it, I do think it's this. I'll have to find it, but you can look at maybe some shorts on YouTube. And in this movie, he becomes invisible. And I said to my mum goes, what do you need right now? And I said, gosh, it's been so busy since last year. And I said, all I need is a bit of shut mouth. And it did come from the Invisible Man because this guy's lying, he's teasing his friend, and basically he's invisible. And he's gone into this guy's bedroom. There's a hamburger next to his bed. And he starts using the hamburger as a mouth to talk. And he goes, I have a wife and 3 pickles, and I need a little bit of shut mouth. And basically, in the context, it could be that you just want some peace. You maybe need to have some space away. Libras tend to give to everyone. And the big challenge is going to be, we previously had the eclipses in the axis of Libra and Aries. For Libra and Aries at the moment, and probably Scorpio, and I would say the Mars energies, many of us are feeling like, where is that sense of who we are versus other people, and trying to find that balance. And I feel for you, what you're going to find is that you just might need a moment. And that could be just grabbing a cup of tea, going somewhere in your garden and, saying to people, look, just off limits for 10-15, let the fresh air touch my face. Just give me 5 so I can be without expectations or needs. So it's like it can be something so simple, right? Something so simple. Well, the air signs collectively have been through quite a bit in the last transition of Pluto. This will be different. It's in a completely different area. You can still have these old energies coming up, in a sense, because we had Mars and Cancer. So it was the shadow sign of Capricorn. So you might have felt like it was that old Pluto energy, but it was more from a psychological point of view for you, clearing, for understanding where you do have direct power, creating healthy boundaries, how it has reformed you so you can actually deal with adversity in these areas now in a more adult fashion, in a more put together way. Now, I feel whatever these are, I feel people's energy is a bit too much at the moment, right? So if you do need a break, just take it, because I think if you don't, I don't think this is you. I think this is your response. You might burn some bridges down. It would be, you get what I'm saying, Stella? It's almost like you have that self-awareness. You're very strong within your aura. You're very strong within your psychic energy and how you show up. You're not naturally a nasty person or anything to that degree. But if push comes to shove and too much push is there, you might use the tongue and be very transparent. The other movie that does come up, and I feel this is for the collective energy as well, is Liar, Liar. We may have this almost experience at the moment where we have this potty mouth and we just want to share whatever we think. And it could just roll off people's tongues so brutally. So again, we do need to be careful of this, because it can cause misfortune. But I feel it's more you have warned somebody. You did try to create space with people. From a past love interest, I do feel that there's something transitioning with them. You might even feel it, even though you have 99 problems, and they are not one right now. But there could be gossip coming through a grapevine during this time. Yeah. Look, it is going to change, and it probably will do you the world of good. It's also, I don't feel you're going to end up doing nothing. I don't. I think at the moment you have been trying to build something more in a sense of stability and structure. I don't feel you would want to go back to doing absolutely nothing. I feel some creativity is going to come through in you, and what a hobby could end up being a business. I'm just saying, in the long run, I don't see you doing nothing. Right? I do not. I will love you all and leave you. However, if you do want to join the super chats and you don't want to miss out on the next ones, I would directly say jump in to the video and directly hook up your next super chat for the public. We do host the actual super chats within the members as well. If you do want to get on the link for it, we do have all the information directly below. And yes, in our outro, it will give you all the updates of where to find it and more. Stay tuned for our physical live update later on, which will cover the astrology.